Think about growing up with a very famous dad and then becoming a huge star yourself, making movies that made everyone cry or laugh. Rob Reiner was born into a famous family as the son of funny man Carl Reiner and turned his life into a big career acting, directing, and making movies. From his first big job as Meathead on a show called All in the Family to making great movies like The Princess Bride, he became very, very rich. He had $200 million and won many awards for being one of the best directors. But what hard times and happy moments made him the man he was before he became so famous? Stay with us as we look at his fancy houses, cool cars, his family, and the sad end that surprised everyone. Early life and hard times. Rob Reiner was born on March 6, 1947, in a busy part of New York City called the Bronx. His family loved movies and TV, but that made things a little bit hard for him. His dad, Carl Reiner, was becoming a famous funny writer and creator of The Dick Van Dyke Show. His mom, Estelle Reiner, was a singer and actor who said a very famous line in one of his movies later on called When Harry Met Sally. Growing up, his house was full of creative people like Mel Brooks who came over to visit. But things were hard when his family moved to Los Angeles when he was 13 because he missed his old home and friends in New York. His family helped him learn how to be strong. Carl Reiner was a teacher to him and showed him how to tell good, funny stories. Rob said his dad told him to watch and learn how to be funny and work hard in show business. Estelle, his mom, was very kind and honest, showing him that being yourself is more important than just being a famous person. These parents helped Rob love acting, but it was hard because everyone compared him to his dad, which felt like a heavy weight on him. Even with a nice life, Rob had some hard problems that showed how tough he was. As a teenager in the 1960s, he had to worry about the Vietnam War and being sent to fight, which made many young men very scared. Rob stayed in school at UCLA to avoid the war, but he was still very worried about it. He also felt bad about his acting at first because he failed many times trying to be as famous and successful as his father. One sad story is about when he tried to be funny in a group but felt ignored by others, which made him feel lonely and very upset. Another hard time was when he wrote jokes and people said they sounded just like his dad's jokes, so he had to find his own voice. These hard times made him work even harder, showing that being a star takes a lot of strength and not just a lot of talent. By beating these problems, Rob showed he was his own person and that even rich kids have to deal with very hard feelings and jobs. Looking back at those young years, we see what made him want to win. Now let's see how he started his big job in Hollywood. His job path. Using the strength he found when he was young, Rob Reiner's career became a great example of trying new things. Rob's start in movies was small but good. In the late 1960s, he had tiny parts on shows like Batman and Andy Griffith, using his dad's help but proving he was good. His big moment was in 1971 when he was picked to play Meathead on the very famous TV show called All in the Family. Playing a young man who argued with his grumpy father-in-law made him very famous and helped him win 2 big Emmy Awards. This job showed he was funny and also cared about things like being fair to different people and treating women well. In the 1980s, Rob decided to start directing movies because he wanted to be the person in charge of the whole story. His first movie was This Is Spinal Tap in 1984, a funny fake movie about a rock band that became very famous. This success helped him make Stand By Me in 1986, a story about 4 young boys that many people loved very much. Rob showed he knew how to make movies feel real and sad and happy all at once. He did it again with The Princess Bride in 1987, a movie with sword fights and magic that kids and adults love. Even though it didn't make a ton of money at first, it became a movie that everyone watches over and over and quotes all the time. Next came the movie When Harry Met Sally in 1989, which was a very funny story about 2 friends falling in love. It made over $92 million and made Rob the king of romantic funny movies, changing how those kinds of movies are made. The 1990s were full of huge movies. A Few Good Men in 1992 with Tom Cruise was about soldiers and made over $200 million. Rob started a company called Castle Rock and helped make the show Seinfeld and scary movies like the one called Misery. He also made The American President in 1995, a movie about a leader falling in love. It made a lot of money. In the 2000s, Rob made movies like The Bucket List with Morgan Freeman, which made $175 million dollars and was about enjoying your life. He won a Lifetime Award in the year 2000 for being such a great director. He also cared about politics and made movies about the war in Iraq to show his ideas. By the end, Rob had won many awards and had a star on the Walk of Fame, and his movies made over $1 billion. His path from actor to director showed he could do anything and tell stories that people all over the world liked. Since he was so successful, it is fun to see how he spent his money. Let's look at the fancy houses that showed his success. Real estate. The Beverly Hills Big House, $19 million. We start with Reiner's best house in Beverly Hills, a huge home that shows he was rich, worth $19 million. This house is very special because it looks old-fashioned but also very modern and is a great place for a big family. When you walk in, you see a big hallway that leads to large rooms where people can hang out and have fun together. The middle of the house is a big kitchen with fancy tools and a large table for making big meals or having breakfast. Next to it is a room for fancy dinners with big groups of people and nice closets for keeping fancy plates and cups. Inside the house, there is also a private movie room with soft chairs and a big screen for watching movies with the family. There is also a gym with machines and weights so he could stay healthy and strong without having to leave his home. To relax, the main bedroom has a quiet place to sit and a big bathroom with a tub that feels like a fancy spa. The guest rooms are also very nice, with their own bathrooms and plenty of space for friends to stay over. One cool part is the wine room, which stays cool and can hold hundreds of bottles for people who love to collect it. The house also has an office with lots of shelves so he could get work done while staying in a very quiet place. Big glass doors lead to the backyard where there is a swimming pool for having fun and cooling off in the sun. The pool area is where they had parties outside, mixing the fancy inside of the house with the pretty yard outside. This Beverly Hills home is special because it is huge, but also a nice place to live and shows how well he did in life. After looking at this big house, we are going to a house by the beach that is very calm but still very fancy and nice. The Malibu Beach House, $17 million. Now we go to the beach to see Reiner's house in Malibu, which cost $17 million and is different from the city house. This house is very relaxed and pretty, with lots of open space so you can feel the ocean breeze and see the water. When you walk in, you see a giant room for sitting with high ceilings and huge windows that let you see the ocean. The kitchen here is perfect for a cook, with big stoves, 2 fridges, and a small table for drinking coffee in the morning. Next is a small dining area for eating with just a few friends or family, and it even has a bar for making drinks. Having fun is easy in the media room, which has great sound and comfy chairs for watching big movies or old favorites. The main bedroom is very cozy and has a place for reading and a bathroom with a shower that has steam and warm floors. Other bedrooms have plenty of space and some even have extra sitting rooms for kids to play in or for people to study. Outside, the swimming pool looks like it goes right into the ocean and is a great place for swimming or just laying out. This Malibu house is just as fancy as the other one but feels like a beach vacation because it is so close to the sand. Now we leave the beach to see one more house in Brentwood that is a bit smaller but still very luxury and very cozy. The Brentwood Quiet House, $13 million. The last house is Reiner's quiet home in Brentwood, worth $13 million, which is smaller but still very fancy. This house is a mix of the big city house and the beach house, with a warm feeling that is great for a family. When you walk in, the rooms flow together so the family can stay close to each other without the house being too big. The kitchen is great because it is easy to use and has a coffee machine built into the wall for making drinks easily. Right next to it is a breakfast room for eating quick meals together as a family before starting the busy day. For fun, there is a cozy family room with a TV and big couches for watching shows or playing games at night. The main bedroom is very quiet and has a big closet and a bathroom with a special tub and a very nice shower. The guest rooms are also big and have their own little living rooms so people can have their own private space. Outside, there is a private swimming pool for playing in the water, which makes the whole place feel like a secret park. These houses show money Rob made in his life, from the fancy kitchens to the pretty swimming pools. But he didn't just have houses, He also had a collection of cool cars that showed his success. Let's look at those. Car collection. Moving away from his big houses, Rob Reiner's cars showed his life story, and he picked them because they were special to him and not just because they were rich. His best car was a Rolls-Royce Phantom that cost $500,000 and showed he was a great movie maker. He bought it after his movie A Few Good Men did well, and he drove it to big parties because it was smooth and quiet. Rob said driving it made him think of his dad's stories about old movies, which made the drive feel very special. It wasn't a fast car, but it looked very important, just like the serious way he worked on his big movies. Next was a Ferrari 488 that cost $300,000 and was very fast and fun to drive on the weekends. He bought this fast car when he was happy about his movie The Bucket List and used it for trips to the beach. He liked to drive it with his friends and said the loud engine made him excited to think of new movie ideas. It showed he loved excitement and worked hard, just like when he stopped being an actor to become a movie director. His last car was a Tesla Model S that cost $100,000 and showed he cared about the earth. This car runs on electricity, and he drove it every day because he wanted to help stop the world from getting too hot. Rob liked that it was a new way of making cars and drove it to meetings where he talked about helping people. These cars cost almost $900,000, but to Rob they were like pages in a book about his long life. Now that we have seen his cars, let's talk about the people he loved and his life away from the movie cameras. Personal life. Even with all his money and cars, Rob Reiner's real treasure was his family and the ways he helped others. Rob's love life became very happy when he met Michelle Singer while making the movie When Harry Met Sally. They got married in 1989 at a small party by the beach with their best friends and stayed together. They had 3 kids together, Jake, Nick, and Romy, and they all loved to be creative just like their parents. Rob also loved his daughter Tracy from his first marriage and made sure both his families felt like one big family. He was happy when his son Jake finished film school and when his daughter Romy started doing art just like her mom. But having a family was sometimes hard for him because not everything was perfect. Lately, people were worried about his son Nick because he was having some personal problems that were hard to fix. Rob also had people who didn't like him because he said what he thought about leaders and the government. He was always nice about it and said that even if people disagree, they should still be kind to each other. Even when things were hard, Rob showed he loved his family and always tried to be a better person for them. Rob also worked hard to help his town and people who were being treated unfairly in the world. He helped start a group for marriage fairness and won awards for being a good friend to all kinds of people. He also helped kids who needed it, showing that he really cared about the world and not just about movies. This shows that Rob was a real person who cared about love and being fair, just like the characters in his movies. Sadly, this story of love and helping others ended very suddenly, and now we have to look at how he died. Tragic death. The fast and scary end of Rob Reiner's life made everyone in Hollywood and the world very, very sad. On December 14, 2025, Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead in their house in Brentwood. The police came to check on them because their family was worried, and they found that the couple had been hurt. The special police who look at big crimes took over the house while Christmas lights were still hanging up. The police said that nobody broke in, so they thought the person who did it might be someone the family knew. People began to talk about their son Nick, who had been staying at the house and was having a hard time. Friends said Nick had been upset and that things were not going well between him and his parents lately. The police asked him many questions and found things that made them think family fights might have caused the trouble. Even though the police didn't arrest him right away, it seemed like there were many arguments in the famous house. Rob was 78 years old and was having a quiet night with his wife when the scary thing happened to them. The doctors said they died from being hurt with something sharp and that they tried to fight back to save themselves. This sad news shocked his fans and friends like Tom Cruise, who said Rob was a very kind and peaceful man. The story made people talk about how hard it is to be a family and how everyone has secret problems. Afterward, his other children were very sad and stayed together to help each other through the very hard time. The law will have to decide what happens next, but everyone will miss Rob and remember his great movies. Now that we have finished talking about Rob Reiner's life, let's think about the good things he left for us. If you liked learning about Rob Reiner, please like this, follow us for more stories, and watch our other videos. Thanks for watching.